They don't want any sort of realization that the other side might have some credence to what they're saying. Jimmy Dore and Kyle Kalinske, the difference between them is I mean, you can see this um, pretty clearly. If you just go down Jimmy Dore's videos, they're all just mainly shitting on the left. If you look at Kyle's, he is going to be not not as slanted against his own side, and he's going to have stuff going against the other side. And so
Okay,
it's a
good, good,
it's
good observation.
it's a lot um, it's different from Pac-Man and TYT, but he's not like Jimmy Dore, and so I kind of look at it to have sympathy for other people since most people they do like to hear. Listen, I have values that I I care about, and I see that the society maybe isn't picking up on those, or they're going way the opposite side. So I would I would like to hear out a pundit saying, hey, here's where our values aren't being met or they're going way to the other side. And so that pundit is going to bring those out. And I have no problem with them mainly going against the other side. I just care they do it in an honest way. And I think that's the difference between, what where we're having this sort of uh, not eye to eye, and we're just going to have to agree to disagree, and hopefully, I'll be able to better elicit what I'm talking about. Like,
Well,
I care you're being
I
I
just want to comment on that.
speech.
I just,
There's a
sorry, I wanted to comment on that. So, I, 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 I hear what you're saying, and that is one of the reasons why, although technically, I would have to regard Jimmy Dore as essentially a propagandist because I mean his content is one way. It's like you said, it's all about attacking the left, and per the definition, which by the way, I guess we should clarify for anyone listening. So a so propaganda is pretty much the spreading of ideas, information, or rumor for the purpose of helping or injuring an institution, a cause, or a person. So pretty much all of Jimmy Dore's content is designed essentially to hurt or injure the Democrats. And he also talks about the what he calls shit libs. So I mean that's essentially propaganda. But here's one thing: for someone who is so against propaganda, why do I tolerate Jimmy Dore? I have critiques of him, but I'm not angry with him like I'm angry with like a. And
right. No,
I'm not literally angry, but I really despise like a David Packman, and I used to love him. I thought he was great, but then I realized what he's about. But the thing about Jimmy Dore, why I tolerate him versus a David Packman and a Ben Shapiro, is because I feel like Jimmy Dore comes with some a good solid critiques of the left. It's not just I hate liberals and anything to smear them. He's like, listen, you have this stupid progressive squad and they're not doing anything. And he's like, look, they are not doing anything. And he shows the receipts. He shows what they promised and what they're not doing. I listened to a Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro's talking about Biden looking at his watch. Or something ridiculous. Like he's like a David Packman. Any little silly thing just to say it's an attack on the left, he'll put it out. It doesn't have to have any substance to it. If there's something of substance, he will talk about that too. But he doesn't care. There's no bar of like it has to be quality.
well, you him not caring again. That's your subjective feeling. That's not a fact. That's just what you want to play out because it plays to your viewpoint. And I could
It's what I observe.
agree with that. That's but again, you view him not caring is your subject. That's not an objective fact. That's your subjective feelings.
If you see someone who is always smelly and their hair is always messed up and they just always look dirty, is it your subjective opinion that this person doesn't care about their hygiene, or is that something that you can observe and be like, because you don't know for a fact, like maybe there's a reason
What
why they look like that, right? But
what's the equivalent? What's the equivalent of the smellingness and messed up hair that you see is showing that Ben Shapiro doesn't care?
because although if you listen to the partisans on the left that we both love, if you listen to them, they will look at Ben Shapiro as an idiot. I don't see him as an idiot. He does say idiotic things, but I look at him as someone who is very smart. He knows what he's doing. He wouldn't be so successful if he didn't know what he's doing. So with someone like him, who I believe went to an Ivy League school, and did he get his law license? I think he went to law school, right? But did he? Do you know if he completed it or not?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so he actually completed law school. So the guy's not a dummy. So based on that, so I know he's intelligent. When I see him, the kind of stuff that he posts sometimes, where it's clearly just anything to own the libs type of thing, then that's where I look at it as he doesn't really care about quality. He just cares about any
That's
opportunity.
no, see, but that's where you're basically just mind reading and saying, well, see, he doesn't really care about these things, and that plays to my whole shtick that he just doesn't care. But that is, of course, flatly, blatantly. Again, there's other facts that lead you to be. If you disagree with the way the country is going, and you're seeing the left do certain things, you're going to point those out, and 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 I believe you're just basically mind reading and say, well, he doesn't really care. He's just own it, anything. It's just like when we have issues with the left, what are we supposed to do? Just say, oh, well, this debate me, bro, guy is going to basically call us out for not caring and once we post something, so we can't care about that. I mean, you're
Okay,
putting
okay,
people into a
okay. How
box
about
and saying,
this?
like you
So
can't really care about what the left is going.
how about this? If Ben Shapiro factually did not care, this is a hypothetical situation. Let's say he actually didn't care. Would it be something that would be observable? Would you be able to, without reading his mind, by observing his behavior and
Again, you
conduct,
gotta.
would you ever be able to tell that he doesn't care? Is that in your mind? Is that
Have
possible?
to get, yes, of course, you have to get details. You have to have evidence and facts to back it up. You're acting like just pointing to the fact that he's pointing to liberal things as him not caring. That's
So
how
so
do you
so
that's
what
not
would
evidence.
you
That's
what would you regard as evidence? So if he really didn't care, what kind of evidence would you expect to see that would be observable, that we could see and point out and say, you know what? I can't read his mind, but this clearly looks like he doesn't care. Like, what would that look like to you?
how have you figured this out? You would have to show where they're being a hypocrite. So on one hand,
I can show that.
Ben Ben Shapiro is stating one thing and it's okay for his side, but then on the other, when somebody else does it, then he gets all enraged by it.
He does it all the time.
Again, that is your subjective
It's
feelings,
not
which
subjective opinion.
again,
That is fact.
no, I'll actually go through a video which you got completely wrong. So when I was going through one of the videos, it was the Hunter Biden sort of laptop, and Ben Shapiro was going through and saying, "Man, this is like a horrible person. Like he's cheating on all this." And you brought up the fact is like, "Wow, Ben Shapiro, well, who else did that? Oh, Trump doesn't look like you really care about that." But you don't even look for that, which is so. You're just wanting to see what you see because again, I remember watching Ben Shapiro in the 2016 primaries, and you could go look this video up. Okay, there's a video where Ben Shapiro. It's called Ben Shapiro. It's on his channel. Ben Shapiro. Trump is a liar. Okay, and Ben Shapiro is going through and saying, "Hey, this election cycle is pretty entertaining, but I'm going to go through and tell you that yes, Trump has a lot of deplorable things that he's for, and I've seen a lot of conservatives just bend over backwards to be for him." And he's
So
going
so
through and
how
saying, look, he's cheating on his wife.
so how does that
Where's
how does
the
that
conservative?
how does that
Where's the
deviate
conservatives?
from how does that deviate from my idea that 98 that the way that propaganda works in this country is 98% of your content goes against the other side and 2% plus goes against your favorite side? Would the what you're talking about, would that not fit into the 2% plus that I always talk about? Remember, I've never said that Ben Shapiro doesn't critique his side. Every single propagandist that I speak about has made videos calling out their
So
side. Tim Pool has called out
again,
Trump. Tim
you're
Pool has called
so
out Trump.
wanting
CNN has
Trump
called
to be
out
correct.
Pelosi. They,
You just
they
got
all do it.
exposed for being incorrect, and now you're running off to saying, "Well,
Wait.
how did
How was I how was I incorrect?
you stated in that video Ben Shapiro doesn't critique Trump for cheating on women when that was shown to be a lie. You lied about Ben. he is against Trump and all of his deplorable things. In the 2016 election, he was getting shit on from his own side because he wasn't a cuck enough for Trump. So you can't play this idea that Ben Shapiro is basically just feeding into what his audience wants. He actually is a principled person,
What?
but you can't see that because all you see is such a black and white world where I mean, I think you've gotten so cynical that you can't see facts that you have blatantly misstated or gotten wrong because you can only see the world through, well, do they criticize mainly the other side and that's all I care about. And it's like, well, you don't even care about truth then because you only care about if you only criticize the other side a lot. That's all that matters. But then you
So
say you care about facts,
so
and you're getting facts basically wrong.
so
And
you're so what so you so the point that you're making is that you are taking a statement that I made as an absolute statement that
what what else is it supposed to mean? You can mean whatever by your statements. That's not how it works.
okay,
You don't want to be able to take accountability for things blatantly wrong.
here's the reality. Like you said, like the real world, right? And the real world is as much content as I watch. There is no way that I can watch every single video from
Well,
everybody.
then
I
you shouldn't make
hold
statements
on,
for
hold
those
on,
who are
hold on.
blatantly
Hold on. There's no way that I can watch
you're
every
getting it
single.
all
There's
wrong.
hold on. There's no way that I can watch every single
You
video.
just said you watched 30 videos.
Hold on.
Before.
Let me finish what I'm saying. There's no way that I can watch every single video from
Okay,
the
you're
people
making
that
excuses
can.
for yourself.
Can you let
That's what
me?
you're doing.
Okay,
You're making excuses
Okay,
for yourself.
hold on. Now, when you speak, I allow you to speak. You can't just keep interrupting me. All right? We gotta like you talk and then I talk.
Right.
That's so.
My bad. Yeah.
I can't watch every single video of every people that I talk about. So when I make statements, I'm not making absolute statements. I can't. It's not possible for me to make
That
that
is
statement.
that is what that's what
Let me finish what I'm
propaganda is
saying.
then. So
Please let me finish what I'm
stop
saying.
making an excuse
Let
for
me
yourself.
let me finish what I'm saying, please.
Oh my god.
Um, let me give you a case in point. I call out MSNBC as a propaganda network.
I don't care. That
Oh,
doesn't mean
let,
anything.
let
You're
me finish what I'm
criticizing.
saying. I call
Listen,
out
I
MS.
criticize
Okay,
MSNBC.
we can't have this discussion if you're gonna keep interrupting me. This is now we're just
My bad.
it's just back and forth, and that's not productive. Um, I call out MSNBC all the time for being a propaganda network. I call them out for basically propping up the Democratic Party all day long. All they're doing is talking about the Republicans, and I make several statements about that. But you could use the same logic that you just used with my critique about Ben Shapiro's video and say, I'm wrong about MSNBC. I'm lying because MSNBC exposed Joe Biden as a rapist, right? Because they did a video. The reason that I personally feel that Joe Biden must have raped or assaulted Tara Reid is because of MSNBC, right? But the fact that they did that doesn't change the fact that they are a propaganda network because they are leaning towards the left. They are all day long talking about the Republicans and the right and all this kind of stuff. They're not saying about Joe Biden. They look at even like Antifa. There will be Antifa riots happening around this country and they don't report on it, right? But the minute that right wingers do it, they're all over it. So what I'm saying is a fact. They are partisan and they are lean. And by you pointing out that hey, that there was this one time where they actually called out someone on the left, that doesn't change what I'm saying because I'm not making absolute statements. Ben Shapiro, I'm not surprised that he has called out Trump. Every single propagandist that I talk about has called out their side at one point in time. Every single one. Even Tim Pool has done that. I think Tim Pool referred to Trump as a fraud, but that's an exception. That is a 2% plus. So unless you're prepared to show me that Ben Shapiro has done more than 2% of his content calling out Trump, then what I said stands and it's accurate. Because that is my argument. 98% of the content is against the other side, 2% plus is against your side. And what you're saying doesn't challenge that assertion.
Again, you're you're sticking to this idea that I already said is meaningless. Okay, because you're saying, well, I don't have to get facts right because I don't mean absolute, so I can call Ben Shapiro saying that he
That
doesn't
is not
care
what I
about
said.
Trump's cheating. I got that wrong, but this he doesn't matter because he doesn't. He's still a propagandist, so I got that right.
That's
So
not what I
let's
said.
move on. And it's like again,
That's not what I said.
you're saying that you are okay. It's okay if you misstate things
I
because
didn't
it's
say
not an
that. I
absolute.
absolutely did not say that. I was very clear in stating that my statements about MSNBC being a propaganda network are not
I didn't
challenged
say any. I'm not
by
saying anything about
exceptions.
MSNBC. I didn't say anything. You're pivoting to MSNBC. I'm not stating anything. I don't care about MSNBC.
I
I
use
care.
MSNBC to make a
I'm
very clear.
talking about Ben
I
Shapiro.
use
You
MC.
contradicted me.
I'm using MSNBC to make a very clear example of the point that I'm making, which is that you are talking about exceptions. If I say that MSNBC is partisan to the left, you cannot point out the fact that one time they made a video calling out Joe Biden and
I'm.
saying that my statement is
You're
incorrect.
not.
Yes,
You're
Ben
not
Shapiro
doing
has
that.
called out Trump. That is an exception, and that is what I've always said.
Past each other.
I'm sorry.
We're talking past each other. Okay. You're trying to, and this is what 90% of hit pieces usually look like. They're talking past one another, right? So you're trying to say, you know, I only want to have a discussion that Ben Shapiro is a propagandist and he only says things about the other side. It's like, we're done here. There's nothing to talk about because he mainly criticizes the other side. I care about facts. You say you care about truth, but it seems the only truth you care about is basically saying, well, uh, they're propagandists or they're not propagandists. It's like I care about the specific details of stories, getting them correct, lying, misrepresenting stories. That's what I care about. I mean, if you don't have that discussion, I mean, it's basically you just want to reaffirm your idea that you're correct. I mean, that's all I hear you wanting to get out. Can we focus on certain news stories?
Yeah, but I think it would be helpful